Yeah, welcome to another episode of Mr. Z and Fifth with your host, Zacchaeus and the Fifth General. Yo, Zacchaeus, what's good, man?
Hey, everything is good, man. You know, hanging in there. Just good to be here for this another episode. Yes.
Yeah, man.
Definitely good to be here. Yeah, man.
It's been a rough 2 weeks, man. You know, with a lot of stuff going on. High profile police brutality situations, killings. On top of that, the Derek Chauvin, the officer who kneeled on George Floyd's neck for now they say 9 minutes and 22 seconds or whatever. Initially we thought it was 8 minutes and 46 seconds, but we got 9.5 minutes. We got that. We about to get some answers on that soon. We'll have to do a episode on that when that happens. Whatever reaction we get, I think me and you kind of know what's gonna happen. And most black people in this country, we know. See, you don't have to ask us what. Like people, this is what people do with us. And I'm gonna get into the topics. We're gonna also give our roses to Black Rob. Rest in peace to him. But we're gonna get into it. So, look, I'm tired of this, but at the same time, I already know, brother. Me and you both know, and I'm not gonna disrespect anybody out there who been protesting because I appreciate your voice, I do. But at the end of the day, black folks in America, I don't know about anywhere else in the world. But then we could kind of be a judge of character on that too. But black folks in America, we don't have any allies.
Let's face facts.
Yeah,
let's face facts.
We don't have any allies. We don't have any friends. We don't have anybody who cares about the plight of Black America, aside from select few black people, because not all black people are racism. No, I'm talking about in America specifically.
Yes.
The other parts of the world, I understand because they never live here. But black people, there are black people in America who've seen the same things me and you've seen, my brother, and you've been on this planet longer than me. And they will look you straight in the eye and tell you racism is over.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you know what? Some people are in their own world.
Yeah.
Some people are in their own world. They see, a young brother walking on the block and get shoved. Yeah. They see a sergeant. They see a sergeant getting pulled
maced.
Over.
Yeah.
And getting maced.
Pepper sprayed and all that.
In the face. Pepper sprayed in the face. The man is wearing a full uniform. He's still getting disrespected.
In his uniform.
This country. In his uniform and still getting disrespected.
And he pulled into a well-lit area. He pulled into a gas station. Just so they wouldn't get scared and shoot him because they say it's too dark and we can't see. Yeah.
In full uniform. That's what I was to tell you. Not even a black man in a black woman in uniform gets the respect.
Can you?
It just and you still say that there's no racism?
Can you? Hey, now that you talked about the sergeant, because I wasn't even going to even talk about him today. What is his name?
He's mixed with
he's I think
black and Hispanic.
Yes, he is. He's black. Yeah. Right. I think I'll let you get his name in a second. I'll talk for a second, but let me get to what I'm saying because I don't want to fumble all over the place. The reason why I'm saying what it is that I'm saying is because we have people who are laughing at the fact that Derek Chauvin is gonna walk, or we kind of suspect that he's gonna walk because they have a hard time convicting cops. The last time a cop got convicted of a high-profile case like this was Amber Geiger, the one who shot Botham Jean by running into his apartment and killing him. And they only gave they reduced some of her charges so that she can get a light sentence. So they really didn't want her to go to jail. They were angry that she got locked up, and she's gonna do like what, 5 to 10 years at tops.
Tops. She might be even let out sooner.
Sooner, because I think they said in a few years. I don't know. She might be a year or two away from going to the judge and getting getting some type of parole. Like she won't do. I don't even think she'll do forget doing a full 10. I don't even think she's gonna get do a 5. But anyway, but they couldn't. That was a very hard one to justify, but we've seen other things justified, like when Terrence Crutcher got shot and killed on camera, with his hands up. You know what I'm saying? The brother in Tulsa.
Crazy,
yeah. He got shot. That cop did not go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So, we've seen so much. Mike Brown, Ezell Ford, John Crawford, the young brother in Baltimore. God, what was his name? Freddie Gray. That's just the name of a few. I could say Danroy DJ Henry. I could name Sean Bell. I can name so many, but the list goes on. I'm gonna run out of eventually I'm gonna run out of time on the show. You know what I'm saying? But the point that I'm making is that, this is something that, look, come on, man. It's just people. All right. So somebody asked this question, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. On the net, a white guy. No disrespect to him, but I'm gonna say who he is just so this can make sense. He was like, his question was, why do black people hate the police? So he generalized. He said black people hate the police. That's not true. We don't hate the police. We hate police brutality. That's what we hate. We don't hate police. We hate the brutality that they do against anybody. Not just black people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And let me say something to my believers out there, and I'm gonna let you talk in. Yo, I'm about tired of this. You got a lot of our people in the faith, man. You got a lot of our people in the faith. A lot of our people in the faith in the world are extremely racist. That so-called evangelical crowd.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm telling you, man, their racism is thick. It's showing. You know what I'm saying? And these
the nerve to shout out Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. Well, this is what they do. No different from the Ku Klux Klan. If you don't know who that is, Google it, look it up. Okay, and they still exist to this day. Hate group, known for killing and lynching. You know what I'm saying? So, church bombings, all of that. You've had so-called white Christians. I call them so-called because you ain't a Christian. You're not a believer.
Yeah.
You worship something, but it ain't God. You worship Satan. Yep. Y'all, those those sons of perdition who chose their path, call themselves Christians, and have a history of being not only just being prejudiced, but being racist, because racism is a power, and practicing that racism. They will tell you God is good while praying for their food, but then say, pass me the rifle and tell that my white hood with the eyes cut out so I can go out there and kill a black boy. Mm-hmm. And that same mentality, because we all know the history of the police system. The police, the first police in this country were slave patrol.
It's called slave patrol. Those who don't know.
For those who don't know, slave patrol.
Yeah,
we've talked about this on many shows, but for such a time as this, we got to mention this because a lot of people know they're looking at the effect and the conditions, but they're not looking at the cause. They're not looking at the history. They don't know any history.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
And for everybody who listens, and look, for all people who listen to the show, I thank you. But you know, we're having what we call family talk. I'm talking to my people. You know what I'm saying? So right. I'm talking two families. I'm talking to my people of melanin, and then I'm also talking to my people in the faith. Okay, that they got to get their mind right. You know, I don't know what the heck happened. Are you familiar with You're familiar with what's the name? Zacchaeus. Remember this? This is the man years ago that said that Haiti had that horrible earthquake, you know, because when they was trying to get free from slavery, that they was calling on the devil to help them, and that's how they got their independence in 1804. You know, this is the same guy who never really has anything positive to say about black people, and this man, you know, calls himself a believer. But he just so happened to say that what happened to Daunte Wright was wrong. You know, and he admitted, hey, I'm pro police. Y'all know me. Yeah, we know you. You definitely take the police side all the time. You don't even want to even be objective. You don't want to hear anything. You know, but yeah, you know, so I pray for the best results, and the results I mean is justice, for all. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what's gonna happen. You know, Zacchaeus. But yeah. So we're having technical difficulties once again. Jesus Christ. Discord, get your act together. I'm gonna have to pause this, and then we're gonna have to switch over. 1 second. All right, so we back. We had to switch platforms, but anyway, Zacchaeus is back. All right, so back to segueing into Daunte Wright. Zacchaeus, I want to get your reactions from the video, because we all know that not all police killings and shootings are the same. So
yeah.
Give me your overall thoughts on Daunte Wright, the young man who got killed in the car with his girlfriend in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota.
Daunte Wright, to me, while he's a young man, he's young. I think he's like 19, 19 to 18. Yeah, he's a young man. So when the cops are hassling him,
20.
The cop, 20 years old. When the cops were hassling him, it was more like he panicked. He panicked, and he, you know, as young people, sometimes we don't we make we make like quick decisions. Yeah. And he was panicking. He got scared and he panicked. Yeah. So what happened was,
well, he called his mother. His mother said that he called her and said, "Yo, I'm being pulled over. I don't know what's going on." So he was on the phone with his mother.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is that I totally disagree with the cops. And what's the lady's name? The police officer, female police officer. The lady's name. First of all, you don't, in a situation like that, the first thing you do is you don't go for a taser or your gun. You do not go for your taser or your gun. You already have a visual of his license plate. Yep. You already have a visual of you can arrest him. You can always arrest him later, or you can always pursue him later and get. But as long as you have somewhat information, you got him. It was no need for you to pull out a taser or gun in a situation like that. You know, I mean, he was not a threat. The man had no weapon on him. He was not a threat. Yeah. He was scared. Yeah. Big difference. So, and he seen he was scared. He was not a threat. He hopped in his car and he was trying to get out the situation, but you pulled, you quick to pull out your gun, or you quick to pull out your taser, and that was not even the taser or gun was not even called for in a situation like that.
Yeah, but they were talking about air fresheners in the window. So
yeah, that's why he pulled over. I didn't know you could get pulled over air freshener in the window. Come on, man.
How do we go from pulling you over for air fresheners in the window to handcuffs? Okay. Now, granted, that happens. I hold some of my judgment on this because it just looks very sudden and it looks very quick, and it looks like there was no control here. But I agree with what you said about this. You have you have who he is. You have his license plate, his license, his registration. You have everything. Just because somebody was saying, hey, what if he would have got back in his car and drove off and it would have been a police chase? Okay, police chases happen every day. They don't kill everyone in a police chase.
Right.
So you still can't justify that. Okay. They already assessed that there were no weapons in the car. Okay, no weapons on him. Okay. So and she's yelling out, Officer Kim Porter. She's yelling out, taser, 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 so that the other cop gets out of the way. Taser, taser, taser. This is a cop who's been on the force for multiple years. This ain't no rookie cop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you can't give her that pass. You know what I mean? And if you give her that pass, you're just a justifying devil that you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all you are. And so then she goes, she's got a gun in her hand. You can see the gun. So obviously she's not looking. She's pulling, but she's not looking.
Yes.
And then she goes, bow. Oh, I shot him. All of this surprising in reaction. Like, no, I feel that she had no soul in her body that day. And just shot him, just to shot him. I don't think there was a value or empathy or understanding right there for that young man. I think she just wanted she just wanted to shoot somebody, and it just so happened to be him. You know what I'm saying? And then she shoots him, and then because he shot him, he bled to death from the gun wound and crashed. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look,
yes,
you're yelling out, you're yelling it out. You're yelling it out. You're yelling out taser. You're yelling all of this out. But you shoot him. You don't it's not like you're trying to shoot out the tires.
Right.
So that he doesn't go far. You just go to just shooting him. And then you say, "Oh, now you're surprised and now you're the victim."
Right.
Yeah, looks like another. Looks like they. I don't know. I don't see much justice to that one either.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? I don't. Well, she's surprisingly she's been charged. So surprisingly, so she's gonna serve some time because I think.
Wait, no. Wait, hold on, sir. She was charged. She was not convicted. Yeah. So. Let's not hold, let's not celebrate too early. But yeah, go ahead.
Right. She was like you said before. She was charged, but she's not. She hasn't been prosecuted.
No.
So the thing is that in this situation, she might get a shorter time. Or she may get it, or she may walk or get a shorter time. Because she did put into temporary retirement. As soon as her and the other officers, a sergeant there, supervisor there, that put in for their retirement.
Well, the police chief resigned in Brooklyn Center as well. So there's a buddy system going on there.
Yeah. So still yet this case is still yet to unfold. So it to me, I could see
her getting just leaving the force and getting her pension. That's what I see. But anyway, yeah, because 26 years, and you, listen. Sometimes, but we have the officers. You got to be. I mean, I understand you're nervous too, but you have to be held accountable for. As soon as you pull out that weapon, know what you're doing, because the thing is that too many lives are lost by you're quick to pull out the gun.
Yeah.
On black people with melanin skin, quick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like we can't even. As soon as we blink our eyes, the gun is pulled out.
Yeah.
So it's like it's an ongoing saga, and big up to the protesters, but the justice system, it needs to be changed.
Yeah.
So yeah. And that's been a cry, not just a cry for just now. It's been a cry for decades. So,
yeah. And we're gonna so let me get into the to the soldier, and then we're gonna get into Adam Toledo, because you mentioned the soldier area earlier, the military. Let me say him correctly. U.S. Army Lieutenant.
Yeah, Nazaro, yeah, Carlton Nazaro.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Karen
Nazaro.
Yeah, Lieutenant Karan Nazaro.
Nazaro, that was
according to the article, NBC. He is black and Latino. Just to put in some perspective, because I know people see that name and they're like, "Oh, okay, he got like a Spanish name," but anyway. No different, because you get treated by what you look like, not by your name.
Mm-hmm.
when you look black, we gonna treat you like you black. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was. But anyway, let's get into his story. I want to say something, and there's gonna be some people in my family who might be offended by this, but I say this with love. The military does not exempt you from the black struggle.
Yeah, see?
Brother, we talk about this all the time, man. You wearing that uniform, I'm glad you're alive, brother Nazario. I'm glad you lived to see another day. You almost didn't live to see another day, but I'm glad you did. But brother, you got your wake up call, and that wake up call is what we always talk about on several shows. Is that no matter what you do for a living, for the country, they still won't accept your black behind. Every time they and then people want to get mad at Kaepernick for kneeling and saying he's disrespecting the troops. What do you call this, America?
Right. Exactly. I mean, the thing is that it not only happened to him, Nazaro. If people really want to know, dig into history, but disrespectful of black respect of our black soldiers, because it's been going on from since oh my God,
since the beginning. Since the beginning. People don't know that slaves were by the military were forced to fight in wars. The Buffalo soldiers. Hiccup. The Buffalo soldiers were fighting a war, but because they had shackles on them.
Yeah.
How are you fighting a war and you got shackles on your wrist and your feet? Yeah, the total disadvantage, but go out there and shoot that gun for us. Because if you don't, we gonna kill you.
Exactly.
This is the history of America's military.
Yes.
And I'm not even talking about the experimentation of syphilis and diseases that they did on the Tuskegee Airmen. I haven't even gone there yet. That was later on.
Yeah. I wanted to mention something too, but this is around the time of World War II.
Speak on it.
Now this segues after this is way before Nazaro.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually his brother named Isaac Woodward.
Mm-hmm.
A brother that was in 1946, February 12th, 1946.
Yeah.
He was discharged from the military.
Yeah.
He was discharged from the military, coming home just to see his family in South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? And the bus driver was sitting on the bus, and of course, as black people, we were sitting back behind the bus. He was traveling on the bus, and he wanted to use the restroom. Do you know that the bus driver got angry with him and argued with him, all because the brother wanted to stop and use the restroom? He called the bus driver, white bus driver, called the police, the authorities, and they beat him to a pulp where they gouged out his eyes. And he was in military uniform. Now, a lot of people don't know this story, but I seen the story several years ago. Actually was on Eyes on the Prize. Not, those who don't know Eyes on the Prize, back in the early 90s, it was a series of during the civil rights era, during the Jim Crow civil rights era, and it goes way back, and it goes up to the late 1940s into the 50s and 60s. This brother, they couldn't stop talking about him. His eyes he was beaten to a pulp where the police officers gouged out his eyes. The man was in uniform. So, and he fought, he just came back home. This is 1946. Mm-hmm. This is after World War II. This was around and after World War II was finished in 1945. 1945, World War II was over. 1945. So, 1946, he was discharged. And let me give you a quick history too. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna throw this in too. Also, the integration of the military was not until 1947, where black soldiers fought side by side with white soldiers. Because before then, we'd never fought side by side with white soldiers.
Yeah.
If you want to look at some, I know a lot of people don't know this, but look at movies like the Tuskegee Airmen, the Red Tail. Look at the movie called Red Tail. Look at Soldier Story. Look at the movie called Glory. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at them with Denzel Washington and Morgan Freeman. That's a classic. That's a classic film. Classic films I'm mentioning to you real quickly. Red Tail's gonna go into the book too.
Yeah,
that's a classic film. And Saint Mary, I think it's called Saint Mary.
No, Miracle at Saint Hannah.
And by Spike Lee.
Yeah,
classic military, black military classic films that if you don't like to read, look at those films. If you don't have the time to read, take your time, take an hour or two, look at those films.
Right, because those films are based off a telling of history. But exactly. I guess the point I'm trying to make, like I said, I hate that brother got his wake up call, but I'm glad that he's alive, because a lot of brothers and sisters, black man, women, and child, they get their wake up calls and it ends in their death.
Yes.
I'm just glad his didn't end in his death. I mean, Amadou Diallo, from Africa.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Africa. What country in Africa was he from?
I'm gonna say I thought he was Ethiopian, but I'm gonna or from Rwanda. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
Because I read the story, because I read his story a long time. Well. Mm-hmm. But I know he's from. I'm going to say either Sudan, Ethiopia, what it's between that Sudan or Ethiopia. It's between those two countries. Right. Yeah.
Well, the point is, at that point, this doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is, African brother, he sadly got his wake up call by the police because they shot him 41 times over a wallet.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about this country, man. Is that they ain't trying to figure out, your accent or where you're from don't matter to them. It's what they saw visually.
That's right.
He looked like one of them, just with a just with a dashiki or whatever. Because I think they say he was wearing, I don't know what he was wearing, but they tried to imply that he was wearing a piece of African garb at the time. That didn't save him either.
Right.
And I'm not saying it to be disrespectful. What I'm saying is, the sad thing is about this nation, man, is that, they give people that, they'll give people, our people or people, melanated people. I'll just say melanated people because that covers all of the Africa diaspora. If they don't get their wake up call of racism where they're from, they get it here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the sad part. And I'm relating that to the military guy because the dude, my man from Nazario, I'm not saying that he doesn't know who he is, but he wanted some explanation before he got out the car, and they wasn't hearing that. And I think he felt because he is a lieutenant and he's got his uniform on, that they wouldn't treat him like any other black man, right?
Right.
That might have been what he was thinking. And then he got his wake up call.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Now let's get into this. And we're gonna have to oh my God. Adam Toledo. 13-year-old young child, just a year older than Tamir Rice. When Tamir Rice was 12 years old, and he got killed by the police a few years ago. Adam Toledo, 13 years old. Okay, this video pains my heart because they won't even actually show the full footage because it's a kid being killed. So the police were responding to shots fired in the area, right? The kid was running. I hate the fact that what happened. I don't know why the kid was. I don't know why a 13-year-old. I just don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that he complied. And you still killed him. Both hands up.
And you still shot him.
And some people say, oh, well, he had a gun. Did they even prove that was his gun or that was just a gun laying there?
Well, you know what it is? Yeah. They shot another photo of him with his hand behind his back.
Right.
Now, but the simple fact that his hand was up in the air, what was the need? What was the purpose of shooting him? If you see the boy's hands up in the air,
right?
What was the purpose of that?
At the moment he was shot, his hands was in the air, very similar to Mike Brown, because Mike Brown's hands was in the air. Ferguson, y'all remember that? You know what I'm saying? So he complied, and people always say, you got them white supremacists and suspected white supremacists and them white supremacist agents and apologists and attack dogs that speak for white supremacy, and they always say comply or die. Man, how many times have you seen people who are not black and they don't comply? They don't get killed at the same rates and numbers that black folks get killed for complying. If you just list black people and other melanated people in this world, in this nation, that is, because I don't know what they do. I know some places do things, but in this nation, I'm being specific here because we have worldwide listeners. We do. There are people listen to this podcast from all over. But in this nation, the USA, the United States of America. Okay, notice how I said America and not America. That if you take the numbers of non-black people who didn't comply being killed by the police versus black people who have complied and still gotten killed, you have a problem here. If we have to compare that, we have a problem here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what Zacchaeus, man. A young sister. God bless her. This was years ago. This was when I was still in New York. You know what I mean? This was during when Trayvon Martin got killed by George Zimmerman.
Yes.
She was like, black people, why don't we just leave? Just leave and get the heck out of this nation. And then a young brother said, and go where? Where can we go where there's no white supremacy? Some things are hidden in plain sight. Hey, you know what's interesting about, the interesting thing about being black in America, and you can relate to this too, brother, because when you traveled, you was able to spot something that the locals didn't.
Yes.
When you grow up in America, in a nation that has a past and present history, let's not forget present, because people think everything is all over. Yes, some things have changed, but not everything has changed. When you grow up in a nation that started with white supremacy, immersed in white supremacy, the economy and everything, this nation of two Americas, a nation with white supremacy. After slavery, you had Jim Crow laws, segregation laws, and all of that continued years beyond slavery. You know what I'm saying? And to this day, lynching, a Jim Crow law still hasn't been fully abolished. And it's the year 2021. Okay? Anyway.
Yeah.
When you went to other countries, you, sir, was able to notice and catch and confront the white supremacy in other countries. Because of what you and I haven't traveled, but you have grown up in this country and seen. And you was able to spot that better than somebody who was from that country.
Yeah, if you talk about the brainwash of some of our brothers and sisters across the I won't use maybe the wrong choice. Not brainwash.
Yeah, let's use a different word.
Yeah, not brainwash. I would say more like have the mentality of and then I would say colorism, but more of not being proud of who they are. Not being proud of who they are, meaning that you're not proud of your African side, but you more embrace. You want to identify and you want to embrace the European side, but yet the European side, Europeans do not embrace you, but yet you want to embrace them.
Oh, speak on it.
And the thing is that so you look at the. I'm talking about those who trying to figure out what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when I went to DR, Dominican Republic. Yeah, and you talk about your lighter skin compared, and you use it you glorify your lighter skin compared better. You say it's better than the darker skin. If the lighter skin is considered beautiful and considered more desirable. compared to the darker skin.
Well, we know that.
So when I met this brother,
that happens here in America big time. So we know that that's something that happens here too. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure, when he said that they don't like Haitians and they don't want Haitians around them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying to myself that it's the same country. Dominican Republic is the same country.
Y'all the same people. Y'all brothers.
The same people. Yeah. So I'm looking at the Dominican. I'm thinking, well, there's Africans here too, in the Dominican Republic. Yeah. There's Africans. Hey, it's a whole one nation. It's a whole nation. So it's just that I know this is not a whole lesson about going to the Dominican Republic and the Haitian. The whole disagreement with the Haitians and the Dominicans. So there's a whole thing I could go into, but that's what I discovered when I went to the Dominican Republic, and it's like, to me personally, it's ignorance, because if a volcano, hit. Like it hit Haiti, volcano hit Haiti. No, not the volcano. Earthquake hit Haiti, and I'm sure some parts of the Dominican Republic felt that. So,
they did.
Yes. So my thing is this: the Dominican Republican. The only thing is that they may have some lighter skinned ones in there, but their ancestry is African. I know they don't want to hear it, but their ancestry is African.
Mm-hmm.
So when we travel,
mm-hmm.
when we travel,
mm-hmm.
and when we go abroad, mm-hmm. I'm talking to my brothers and sisters out there who's listening. Yeah. When we go abroad, let the natives tell you there is a strong. When I went to Haiti too, and I went to Haiti for 7 days. There is a strong underlying hatred with some Dominicans that live in Dominican Republic towards the Haitians. So, and the history. I could go into the history too. The history is terrible. So when you travel, it's not just here in America.
Right.
It's abroad too.
Right.
It's abroad too.
Right.
I could go into South Africa apartheid.
Right.
It's abroad too.
People forget about South African apartheid, and you, sir, your family is from Guyana, right?
Yes.
And you went to Guyana, and you was like, "Yo, what's going on here?" You know what I'm saying? So
I didn't mix with two. The thing is that when you go to Guyana,
mm-hmm.
The history of that is they had the something called Black Friday in 1961. I could go into that too, where
mm-hmm.
the Indians and the blacks kind of it was like a civil war.
Yeah.
In that country.
Yeah.
And the Indians is equivalent to the white supremacists.
Yes.
The white supremacists in Guyana.
Yeah.
At that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping,
mm-hmm.
Because when I went to Guyana for 7 days, I didn't really mix with too much Indian. I didn't mix with Indian. I guess I seen them, but they didn't. It's just I don't know. They just don't. It's like they don't embrace you like that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
only when I'm here. When I'm here in America.
But you just made a point. You said that at the time, the Indians in Guyana were acting as a tether for white supremacists. So that history and that influence carried on into them, and which carried on to the relationship between black people in Guyana and Indians in Guyana. So that's so even though they may not be particularly Caucasian, but it's still oppression. So
it's still oppression.
Oppression
mm-hmm.
of any kind is still wrong. It's just go to a different country, and all you got to do is pick the oppressor and who they really are. But oppression is oppression. Okay.
Yes, it is. It is.
And people need to understand that white supremacy, the concept and the power of white supremacy is global. It's global. And when you do your history, and a lot of these countries that, these European nations had, going to wars for and stuff like that, robbed all their resources, all of their money, all of their riches, and left them people disenfranchised, poor, destitute, whatever you want to call it. And these countries they owe. Okay? God knows. Forget just me knowing, forget me. But
I know
they will answer for the evil that they've done, who you are. And I'm talking about all oppression, because there's oppression sadly done by people who look like us and African nations. Okay? So any oppression is wrong, and you will answer for the evil that you do. That's all I got to say. But but back to Adam Toledo. So Adam Toledo complied, and he got killed. 13 years old. Is there any empathy for a 13-year-old kid? I'll answer that, because that's a rhetorical question. No, because there was no empathy for Emmett Till. And what year, sir?
1955.
1955. See, I was off. There was no sympathy for him.
Yeah.
We got
no sympathy with it. Man, that thing is brutal, man.
That started the civil rights movement in America.
Yeah, that sparked it. Yeah.
The killing of Emmett Till. Black people people already had enough. But when that happened, it was, you know what? We're gonna have to go out here and die for what we believe in, because we not about to keep ended up happening like him. But these things still happen. We have other Emmett Tills as the years have gone on. See, people think, oh, well, that was just the past. It was a long time ago. Why don't you get over it? Yo, if somebody keeps walking up to you every day and slapping you in your face and then saying they're sorry, they're not sorry, because they're still slapping you in the face. It's like, somebody comes up to you, like, you wouldn't even go to a job that would do that. Like, if your boss came up to you and popped you, bow, and then he said, oh, I'm sorry. But then, on your calendar, about around this time of 2:30 p.m., that he's going to come back and slap you Friday.
Yeah, see?
That's what racism is. That's what racism is in America. You know what I'm saying? First of all, they don't even say they're sorry. But the point I'm making is that they tell you to get over something that keeps happening. Would any respectable person in this country tell a woman who gets raped repeatedly to get over it?
No. Get over it. They would never say that. They get over it.
I had to do that analogy because that seems to be the only analogy that people understand more than racism. Sorry I had to connect the two. Although we know that in racism, rape is there too, because we all know the history of black women and men and kids been raped during slavery and after that. You know what I'm saying? And nobody did any time. You got sisters out here being raped right now by those of the other side, and don't even barely see any time. Don't even see any time. They'll just say she lied. They won't even believe her. But let a white woman falsely convict you of touching her. You ain't got to even rape her. If she said you even looked at her wrong.
Yeah.
That's your that's your behind. They don't even believe your story.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Listen, you feel like you're still living back in the Jim Crow era in some ways because I looked at a video not so long ago. I mean, I would say about 1 or 2 days ago.
Yeah, bring this up.
And I see this young and I see this young black brother being pushed and shoved, and yelled at in the face
in a neighborhood that he lived in.
Yes, and I'm saying to myself, I'm like,
no, but before you get to that, what did the man say? You don't belong in this neighborhood.
In this neighborhood. You in the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah.
And he cursed mother. He said you're in the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the hell are you doing here? You're in the wrong neighborhood, and he pushed him.
Yeah.
Young that dude. Now his name is not the young black man's name is not being revealed, but the soldier. Jonathan Pentland.
Right.
From South Carolina is the one that came up in his face.
Right.
And he pushed him and shoved him. And I'm saying to myself,
the white man.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? When I see that, I don't know why people are so surprised and shocked when I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'm never surprised at racism.
I'm not.
It never surprises me.
And people are so quickly to forget Ahmaud Arbery.
Yep. He got killed just for running in a neighborhood that he lived in.
Ahmaud Arbery got killed for running in the neighborhood.
In Georgia.
Got
followed around for like, what, an hour?
Yo, stop. Yeah, this is not brand new. Yeah,
this was 2020.
You know what I'm saying?
This was 2020, 2019 or whatever year it was.
Can't forget Yusuf Hawkins back in the days.
My Lord.
1986. You know what I'm saying? There's so many cases in history of this. This is nothing new under the sun. This is 2021. You would think that things get a little bit. No, he got charged, and they put his bail up to 500. He's gonna get out. He ain't gonna do no time. But my thing is this. So we got to be mindful of where we're going. We got to be mindful.
Yeah.
Our people from where we going and where you're walking. Yeah. Everywhere you go in certain neighborhoods, you feel like you can't just walk anywhere.
Right. And we're not doing no fear tactic, but we're just saying be aware. We don't have a black people don't. You know how they say ignorance of the law is no excuse, so they still lock your behind up. So what I'm trying to say is not being conscious these days. Well, even in the past, because Malcolm X spoke on this and Marcus Garvey, is that it's no excuse now. You have to be conscious. You have to have some knowledge of self. You just do, because your life, your life could be on the line. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, no fear tactic, no fear, because I don't walk around with no fear, because I got Jesus in my life. I don't walk around with no fear. But what I'm saying is be aware. Be aware.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As long as I got Christ in my life, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, as long as I got him in my life, I'm fine. Even if I go untimely. Yes. But the thing I'm saying is that you got to be aware. And you know what? That young black teenager, if his father would have been with him, I bet you that man wouldn't have had that white man, wouldn't have had that energy for him. He sure wouldn't. He did that to him because he was unrepresented. He knew he can get away with it, at least for that moment.
Right.
He knew who he was pushing. He saw a frail-bodied young teenager. I wish. Let me stop. Because I might say something that might get me in trouble.
Let him try to do that to a brother like Big Rhymes or
listen.
Or if that, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, I don't have a son, but if that was my son, I shouldn't have to say anymore. You push my son.
Yeah, exactly.
That's somebody's son.
Yeah.
Somebody's grandson.
Yeah. And you let
Yeah. Keep playing with us. Keep playing with us. I'm tired of this.
Keep playing. I'm tired. Yeah.
Listen, you're a father. You're a father, sir.
Yes, sir.
You have a young black son, my godson.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
He's the closest thing. I don't have a kid yet, but your kids will be the closest thing to my kids. Anything happen to them, me and you showing up.
Oh, exactly. We'll be right there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be right there. I'm bigger than dude. I want him to push me around like that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna go down like that.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Man. So
pick on somebody else's side.
Exactly.
You know?
He knew what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make sure our messages are not being crossed here. But look, this is what I'm saying, and I'm probably gonna have to answer for this later in this episode. Look, first I want to thank everybody of all people of the color spectrum who have protested and supported the recent events surrounding Daunte Wright and Adam Toledo, and also George Floyd. The George Floyd protests were worldwide, and I remember black people in their countries, especially the UK, they were telling us how the police treat them. And other countries, they was like, listen, the police brutality is not just an American problem in America.
Right.
It's a problem everywhere. Well, at least the countries that were saying that, because I'm not going to say every country said that, but what I'm going to say, there were black people in many different countries that were telling the world that what the world doesn't know about what happens in their country, and they fight against police brutality in their countries, whatever countries they may be. You know what I'm saying? And I admire them for that. And I admire those who speak up, because black people, we have a history of helping other people's causes all the time. Something happens, we there supporting and protesting too. That is historical. People,
go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, I want to thank those. I was just kind of doing like a closing statement here. I want to thank those, but then I also want to say that the truth is the truth. You know what I'm saying? And
That's right.
It's not because I say it. You know what I mean? This stuff could be looked up, studied, find out, however information you obtain. I ain't making this up. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. There's a universal language in America between black folks here. And that language is, we don't have to necessarily say a word to each other, but when we see danger happening, we know. It's just something that we all know and connect with, telepathically almost.
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because we've seen the trauma and and just things that go on in the world, in the streets, whatever. And we already know that when police show up to certain crowds, we already know, oh God, this is not going to end well. Right. We already have it in our minds that like, oh my God. So we're just aware. We're just aware of the situation. I mean, not all police. I mean, hey, I don't know if I think I said this on a previous show. I've had good experience when I was a kid in the projects. There was a officer. I'll just say his last name, Goldstein. He was a good officer. You know what I'm saying? He looked up. He was good from what we know. I don't know what happened later on, but when we was kids, he had respect for us. You know what I'm saying? But then the police decided we're gonna take him away from his occasional patrol in the projects where I live, and then they replaced him with other police. Man, and those police were different. So here he was trying to bridge the gap between police and people in the community, all people, because the projects that I lived in wasn't just black people. It was black, Puerto Rican, and some whites. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was actually a multiracial projects. You know what I'm saying? When you think about it. Was it mostly black? Mm-hmm. Was it mostly black and Puerto Rican? Yeah, but, anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? But he was a cop that actually had some rhyme and reason You know what I'm saying? And some diplomatic kind of things to him and tried to be an ambassador. You know what I'm saying? But then NYPD took him out and said, nah, we need to get cops in there who rule with the iron fist and put fear in black folks there. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. It's disgusting, man. It's like even when you get a good cop, the powers that be that rule them say, nah, you're out of here. And that's going to segue into the last story before we get into talking about Black Rob. Carrier Horn. Buffalo police officer, former police officer, who stopped another police officer from killing a black man. A white officer, I don't know his name, don't care. He almost killed him like what the officer did, Pat Toledo did to Eric Garner back on Staten Island on Bay Street. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what happened was he had the man in a chokehold. She intervened, got the man off because she said, "Yo, you're killing him," and he wouldn't stop. It's like he was it's like the cop was getting aroused by killing a black man. It was basically freaking sex for him. Yes. Yeah, I said it. So then she intervened physically to make sure that man didn't get killed. And she got fired.
And lost her pension.
And lost her pension. At the time.
Yes.
This was years ago.
Yes.
Like over what?
30 years?
2003.
About 30 years.
No, before that, right? Yeah, it was
actually it was 2000. Actually, I believe it was 2003 when that happened.
2003 when this happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. About yeah.
Right. And recently, now she's able to get her pension back because she was fighting for a law to be passed called Carrio's Law, and that is that a police officer, if he or she sees fit to save a citizen from being killed unjustly, to intervene without the risk of losing your job. You know what I'm saying? You know what's sad. So that's what I'm saying. Even when you get a good cop, the powers that be remove them.
Yes.
I don't understand. I don't understand. No, I understand why things happen. I just don't understand why other people pretend that this is not a problem in America, where you have a police officer saving someone's life, but she gets fired.
Yeah, because in a way, the way those race soldiers wanted him to die, and you know, I'm just saying. Yeah. In a way, you know, she looked at, you went against the force. Yeah. You went against the force. That's why she got fired, because on police officers aren't supposed to go against their own. Yeah. And especially when you're in public eye in the streets. Yeah. So, you know what? And when I read that story earlier today, that she finally got her pension after all these years. Mm-hmm. You know, and I said, shame on America.
$800,000. $800,000. She should get $1 million more.
She should get $1 million.
She should get more than just that.
She should get $1 million. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she should get $1 million. Yeah. But the thing is that she was owed that. Yeah. She was owed that from years ago. Yeah, she worked for that. Yeah. And now she's getting it in her old age. Yeah. But she was owed that years ago. Mm-hmm. You know? To me, she's a hero.
She is a hero. I love police officers like her. That's a good cop.
Yeah. You know?
In order to be a good cop, you have to first be a good human being.
Speak on it.
God bless that sister. May the Lord bless her for the rest of her days. Yeah. For real.
Yeah.
Lord, please watch over her, protect her, because she's about to receive a blessing, and I feel like she's already been targeted, and I don't want her to continue to be targeted. So.
Yes.
Oh Lord. All right. I have no more to say about that.
Yeah.
But shout outs to good police like like carry a horn. And
yes.
And when I was a kid, Officer Goldstein, I hope he's still a good cop.
Yeah.
Jesus, I don't know if he's he's probably retired by now.
He might be retired.
Yeah, he might be retired. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He was good when I was a kid. So so I do have that good experience, but then I also have that bad experience, and I won't get into that for now because that's a whole other show. You know what I'm saying? All right. Harlem rapper, Harlem. Bad Boy Records. This goes back. Black Rob, 51, died.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes.
We just want to give this brother his flowers.
Yes.
Some may not know who he is, but Zacchaeus, tell him who Black Rob is.
Black Rob, those who don't know, but those who know the song called Whoa, that came out, it's a very popular song that came out like, I'll say like 2000 and...
early 2000s, 2001.
2001. 2001, 2002. Early 2000.
Oh wait, it might have been later than that. Yeah, early 2000s.
I don't know. Yeah, but I'm thinking 2000, 2008, 2007.
Let me get this right. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah,
because we have
the song called Whoa.
We got to be accurate here. Life Story came out. Yeah. Oh, I was right. Life Story came out in the year 2000.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah. 2000. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Year 2000. Yeah. So that's the accurate year.
Yeah.
So when Whoa came out, it was a banger. It was a hit. Go on YouTube and look at this and type in Black Rob and then space and then Whoa, 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 and you'll see what we're talking about. That song is a timeless banger for real.
Right.
And we talk about Black Rob, man. The first time I seen Black Rob perform was back in maybe 2016 when he I think around that time, 2016, went to Paradise Theater in the Bronx. Mm-hmm. And they had the ladies concert with Faith Evans. The ladies night concert was my birthday. Wife took me out, and it was a concert. A ladies night. It was a Friday night, and it was a concert. And Black Rob just rocked the house. Yeah. Big up to the artists that were there at the time. It was an R&B concert, but they put a little splash of hip hop in there. And they added Black. It was like a throwback R&B's concert. Those who don't know, SWV, Total, Faith Evans, Carl Thomas. You know what I'm saying? Jagged Edge. Big up to Jagged Edge. Them R&B singers. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Black Street was there. Big up to Black Street. They were there too. And I want to mention also to Escape. They were there too. Mm-hmm. But just a kid. But Black Rob came. It was a last performance. He rocked the house. Mm-hmm. Brought down the house with the song called Whoa at the Paradise. At the time it was the Paradise Theater in the Bronx. Yeah. He rocked the house. I got up. That's why it was a memorable performance. The whole audience, because the Paradise Theater is huge. It's just like, it looks like the Apollo Theater, but it's not.
Yeah.
The whole balcony screamed. The main floor got up, and they were like, "Whoa!" Black Rob tore the house down with that song. I mean, my gosh, I even get up. I was like, "Whoa!" And I remember that, and I applaud and I big up Black Rob, because Black Rob, he had other hot joints too.
Yeah, I'll name them. Yeah. Before Whoa, he was known for songs like "I Dare You," "You Don't Know Me," He also had a record with J-Lo, "Spanish Fly," dope record. That was another single. For those who are real hip hop fans, "Can I Live," featuring the Locks off that first album. The Can I Live instrumental is what typically gets played on hip hop radio stations when cats about to freestyle. So people typically know about that. You know what I'm saying? And then also, you know, he was on, that joint, I Love You Baby, with Diddy, Puff at the time. You know, that was originally on the Puff Daddy and the Family album, the first one. And then, you know, and when they did the second P. Diddy and the Family compilation album, you know, he was on Let's Get It with G Dep, Bad Boy for Life. You know what I'm saying? You know, so, you know, one of his first appearances on record, and just so happened to be on a record with DMX, and that was Mace's 24 Hours to Live, featuring the Locks.
That's crazy. Yeah.
You know, featuring the Locks, Black Rob, and DMX. Classic joint.
And DMX. Classic joint. Classic banger. For real.
You know, he was 51. You know, they said he died from kidney failure?
Yeah, kidney failure, and he had in his lifetime, during his last years, he had 4 strokes.
Yeah, Jesus. Some people don't survive 1 stroke. He had 4.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And, you know, we just had recently seen a video of him right after DMX died with him in a hospital. And him and him sending his condolences to DMX. It's sad. God bless his family. You know what I'm saying? But we just wanted to pay homage and give respect.
To this brother, man. Yeah, man. It's just that, and I want to say this too, quickly.
Yeah.
Before we end the show, I want to say, it's good to reach out to people.
Yeah.
Because I heard that he was homeless. Black Rob was homeless, and he said he was homeless. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the situation. I don't know if he had money and he was away or record late or a credit was not due, which happened to many artists. Sometimes a credit, what you owed is not given to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It happens to many artists, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel personally that Black Rob should have never been in that position.
Mm-mm.
You know, P. Diddy most likely probably helped. You know, he helped the brother probably. Most likely he probably did.
Mm-hmm.
He probably helped them out, but sometimes we need a little guidance. Sometimes we need a little help in how to manage our money, or sometimes we need, or we just have to reach out to people. No, say hello. Mm-hmm. Just reach out to people, because sometimes you don't see people in a long time. You never know what they're going through.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't know that Black Rob was going through that. I had no idea.
Yeah, none of us knew.
Yeah, I didn't know he was home. The man was homeless, and the man had 4 strokes. Man, you know, and those who know him personally, I hope you reached out to him before he died, because it hurts when your loved one or your brother, you know, is gone, and then you wish you could have reached out to him beforehand. You wish you could have lent a hand to help him. You wish you could have said something to him. You know, and it's just, that's why you know, it's good to call people. It's good to reach out to people. You never know, man, what they're going through, man. It is, man. But you know, I'm just gonna say quickly, condolences to his family. May Black Rob rest in peace. From me and Fifth. May Black Rob rest in peace, man. And
peace, King.
Yeah, man. Peace, God, for real. You know.
Yeah.
May you rest in peace. May DMX rest in peace.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. God bless their families, man.
Families, man. You know, it hurts, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Young, man. They both young. 50's young, man. 50, 51.
Yeah, young. 50 and 51. They're young, man. For real.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we're gonna get up out of here, man. Zacchaeus, let them know where they can reach you, man.
You can reach me on Instagram, Zacchaeus B73 on Instagram, also on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Wayne Zacchaeus Bacchus on Facebook, also on Twitter. And Wayne Bacchus 2 on Twitter. Yeah.
Y'all can reach me at The Fifth General on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All right. So we're gonna end this here. We're gonna see y'all on another episode, next episode of Mrs. Z and Fifth. See y'all next time, man.
Peace.